Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All the wonderful kids who tuned into this great program on enhancing brain power. This is the third session in the series of five, which was presented by North America Telugu Society, NATS, in association with Kansas City Telangana Cultural Association, KCTCA. As Jayasima Garu famously quoted, there is no such thing as good or bad memory. The only thing is like trained memory or untrained memory. As you witnessed in the first session, the power of the brain and how it can be done wonders. And in the second session, we learned about like how to remember scientific technology, substitution techniques, memorizing countries and capitals, memorizing currencies. And in today's session is going to take us a bit more into how to tap into such phenomenon of brain power by training in the following aspects will be covered. Session 3 today we'll be mainly concentrating on like memorizing vocabulary, how to use three-step technique to memorize a dictionary. And as in the last session, J.C. Magar mentioned about like capitals, like states and capitals. He's going to train us um, in that aspect also, and how to remember anything for a long time. Basically, these are the main aspects of today's session. And are you ready to build a super brain memory? And basically, on behalf of NATS board EC, extended EC, and NATS Kansas chapter and KCTCA, we welcome you all and Sri Jayasima Garu to this wonderful program. Please welcome Jayasima Garu. Thank you. Jayasima Garu?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm making you co-host under 1 minute, sorry. The connection. I'm not able to find your
visionj@gmail.com. Spell Jason.
okay. No, I'm not seeing it. 1 minute. మీరు ఒక్కసారి మాట్లాడరా అంటే
I'm talking, sir, right now.
Oh,
I'm
you are?
talking with sir. I'm with my hand. You see, I can see. Can you see?
No, I'm not.
Right now, I'm there right now.
Let me remove spotlight on mine. Maybe that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, sorry for the delay.
No problems. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. Yeah.
Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3, Train Your Brain, How to Improve Memory, Super Brains Workshop. At the outset, let us first of all thank our hosts, Nats, the chairman, Sridhar Garu, and also the president, Vijay Shekhar Garu, and also our marketing coordinator, Ravi Gumadipudi Garu, and then Venkat Mantri Garu, and also KCTA head, Sridevi ma'am, and rest of the executive members. Thank you so much for making this happen. It means a lot to talking to all the children, parents, teachers, and who are is interested to learn about memory. Thank you so much. And to begin with, last session, many of you are keen. How can I work on my English spelling mistakes? Yes, I will talk about vocabulary as we go along after the break. But first of all, how to overcome English spelling mistakes. How many of you want to become a spell bee contest winner? I want to win spell bee contest. Yeah, many of you. Every Indian kid, yes, you people are interested to win. And maybe you may not go to that extent, but even if you say, I want to overcome day-to-day English spelling mistakes, I'm going to discuss with you 4 ways how you can overcome English spelling mistakes, right? 4 ways. The first one is a school method. The first one is a school method, okay? 1 second. Okay. Look at this. This is not showing. Okay. Second. All why my thing is not showing the writing?
It is showing as like you started screen sharing, Andy, but we are not able to see anything.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Something is not showing. Why it is, I don't know. Okay, let me just check. My thing is not showing.
Yeah, now we can see.
Now you can see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it is showing, right? Okay. The first thing is we're going to learn spellings in 3 ways, and okay. We're going to learn spellings in 3 ways. First one is the school method. How do you remember how you use the school method? Okay. School method. Imagine I got one word called calendar. Which one is right? Top one or bottom one? Which one is right? I want to unmute all the people.
Bottom.
Bottom one,
The
okay.
bottom one.
Bottom one is right, okay.
The bottom one.
No, this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. And this, oh, no, 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 I don't want to do this. 1 second. Wait, I want to check whether why it's not showing this. Why it's not showing this? Sir, is it showing now?
No, sir, we are seeing blank screen. Like you started sharing screen, but we are not able to see anything.
1 second. Why my thing is not showing? This I want to write writing pad. Why is not showing this? If I show this, the problem is he's showing some iPad. Okay, iPad connection. Let me see if I can write this. This is moving on this. I need to write something today. Okay. Why this is not showing, sir?
Yeah, now we can see.
You can see that, but the thing is, if I'm writing, it will go in something else. Okay. This is a screen that is showing. Okay. If
Okay.
I show, oh, this is showing the PPT actually.
Oh,
Showing the PPT. I'm having this writing pad. Why is let me just
Is that iPad you are connecting, sir? Like
Not iPad, sir, writing pad.
or writing
Okay.
pad? Okay.
Why it is not connecting? Last time I did that, right?
Yeah. Last time it worked properly.
No, I've written also. Today I didn't check. Why is not showing?
Log off and log in. It sometimes works.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
No, if you log off and log in again, it sometimes works.
Okay. Log out, log in. Okay. Fine. So 1 second. I'll just log out and log in then. Let us just check this.
Yeah. In the meantime, like kids, like how are you enjoying the program? Any feedback or any suggestions, or parents also?
The program is great.
Okay. Are you practicing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes. I kind of practice a little.
Okay, cool.
It's good.
You need to practice and ask your mom and dad to give some words or some assignments, like you can play with the words.
Yeah, Venkat Garu, this is Prasad.
Yeah, please.
So excellent program, Andy. The other thing is, maybe I wish all the participants, once they enable their video, so that it will be much more interactive with the Jaisimha Garu, and then it is like a almost like face-to-face, one-on-one.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
sure.
It's optional, but if everyone can, if they have a choice to enable their
Can you make me post, sir? Can you make me post now?
Yeah, sure, sir.
wait.
1
Can I,
minute.
can I
will
say
do it.
something about that? Since this is like a Zoom meeting and everybody turns on their camera, it could get really laggy. So, and we have like almost 60 people, right, in this meeting. I think it's like best if like majority of us keep our cameras off, but it's really good. That's up to you guys. It might like cause like lag and all that.
Okay.
How do you change your name?
You want to change your name, like
Yeah,
on the.
I want to like add an emoji at the end.
Okay, then I will do something else. It is not working. Some problem seems to be. Okay, let us do a bit.
You
Okay,
can also, you can shut down and then you can like shut down the whole computer and then open it up and log it in.
No,
Yes,
just
yes.
restart the laptop. Restart it. That's better.
We will do that. We will do. I will do that. Spellings next week. Okay. How I know you are very excited to learn that. Let us talk about how we can memorize something to do with vocabulary. Okay. I will do that little later because I need to write. Okay. See, anytime you come across, you are reading a newspaper, reading a magazine, or you're reading a book, or you come across some unknown word, you want to know the meaning of this. For example, you are reading a book and you come across a word called abase. You don't know the meaning of the word. Normally, what we do, we open the dictionary and see the meaning first of all. We open the dictionary, see, we find out the meaning, or we ask our teachers, we ask our parents. So the meaning of this word is called abase, means what? Lowering down somebody's position or to degrade someone. Imagine somebody is the head of an institution, is not working properly. You bring him down from top to bottom. That's called abase. Imagine you have a principal is not working properly. You make him only a teacher. That's called abase. Somebody general manager of a hotel is not working properly, you make him only a manager. That's called abase. Means anyone from top hierarchy, you bring him to lower hierarchy is called abase. Now, this meaning we will come to know through dictionary or through our teachers. And we think we understand the meaning. So today we understand, tomorrow we remember, maybe 1 week we remember, again we forget. Why? We are only using one step. What we are using now? We are using only one step. We are using the word and the meaning. So this way is not going to help us. Then how to remember any meaning for long time? How we can memorize it in the dictionary? See, I'm going to teach you 3-step formula, not one step, 3-step formula. How many steps now? 3-step formula. So what are 3 steps? Step number 1 is a school method. So anytime you're reading a magazine reading a newspaper, reading a novel, reading a book, you come across any unknown word, stop, pause, open the dictionary, see the meaning, and find out the meaning and understand. Step number one. Okay. Now, step number 2 and 3 are innovated by me. So, anytime you come across any such word, step number 2, what you should do, what you have to find out is check in the new word which has come. Okay, the new word which has come, is there something you know? For example, this word abyss is there. Is there something you know in this? Think. What is there in this word? Abyss.
Base.
I got something called base. This I know. What's the meaning of base? Your bike is in the basement of the apartment, right? So you are sitting on the base. So base means what? Is there on top or bottom? Base will always be at the bottom. This you know. So the step number 2 is find out what you know in this new word. Step number 3, what you should do? You know this word called base. Step number 3 is from what you know to what you don't know, you need to make a small connection. That is what is called abyss. From what you know to what you don't know, you need to make a small connection. That's all. So next time you come across abyss means you know base. Base means bottom. The meaning is what? Lowering down somebody's position or degrade somebody. Automatically the meaning will come. Okay, you will automatically remember. So these are the 3 steps how you can memorize meaning of any word. Step number 1, know the meaning of the word. So first thing is step number 1, know the meaning. So meaning is what? Abyss means from top to bottom, you bring someone down. Step number 2, what do I know in this new word? So in this new word, I know something called base. Base means bottom. Lowering down somebody's position also bottom. So both of them you connect it. So next time you are reading this word called abyss. Imagine in the first step only you remember the meaning. Abyss means lowering down somebody's position to degrade someone. Then you don't need to use the memory at all because word and meaning you have come to know. Once, in case you don't remember, then what you should do? Go to step number 2. Ask this question. In this new word called abyss, is there something that I know? So what is there in this? I know something called base. Base means what? Bottom. Oh, you bring someone from top to bottom. Now that is what abyss. The meaning will come automatically flashing to you. This will work as a prompting for you. This is how you remember meaning of any new word. 3-step formula. Understand this? How does this work? See, we had 2 sessions on memory. I have not told you what is memory. I didn't define memory. So the definition of memory is nothing but connecting the new to the old is called memory. Connecting the unknown to the known is called memory. Are you understanding this? Memory is nothing but connecting the known to the unknown. Okay, connecting the unknown to the known is called memory. Connecting the new to the old is called memory. Are you getting this? Connecting the new to the old, connecting the unknown to the known is called memory. How does it work? Let me give you one example. See, when we were born, all of us, small children, we had no memory at all. First thing that we remember is our mother's face. Imagine we are in the cradle and mother is swinging the cradle and your small little baby is there and then mommy is telling, baby, tell me ma, and that's how we said ma. Means what? The moment you see your mother, okay, you first thing that we remember is mother's face. That's why small children, the moment they look at mother, they start smiling because they remembered mother. Number 1 is mother face. Number 2, what we remember is mother's voice. Why? Daily mother reading out a bedtime story, while giving bath, she's talking to you. While feeding, she's talking to you. While carrying you in her lap, she's talking to you. 24/7, she's talking something other than listening. Over a period of time, you listen to your mother's voice. So you remember mother's voice. Number 3 is a mother's touch. Mother's touch. Why? Daily she's giving you bath, she's feeding you, and baby is always tucking to his mother, her mother, and sleeping, and always in the mother's lap. No, so mother's touch. So first thing we remember is mother's face. Next is mother's voice. Number 3 is mother's touch. First thing, and after that, imagine you are a small baby, you are in the cradle, and next to your mother, there is one person standing, and your mother is telling, baby, look at this person. He is your father. So you look at, oh, this is my dad. You did not get anybody else. Okay. Somehow I'll adjust. And that's how you called him daddy. Yes or no? So by birth only, you know who is your father. Who told you? Your mother shown someone and said he's your father. That's how you came to know. One day she had shown some other person and said he is your uncle. That's how you know. And she shown one day one old woman and said she's grandma. That's how you came to know. Yes or no? Like that, small children, they keep on adding onto the memory. Okay. And imagine you are in the lower grade when you went to the school first time. Teachers, how did they teach you body part? Nose, eyes, ears, mouth, fingers, stomach. They taught you, right? The moment you are born, you know, ma'am, this is my nose, my ears, my eyes, my ears, my mouth, my fingers, my stomach. I'm sleeping. Will a baby know? Who told you this? The base memory, your mother or your teacher, they taught you. Yes or no? How? Through repetition every day. Baby, mouth, nose, eyes, ears, fingers, stomach. Repeat. Like that you came to know. Yes or no? And when you went to the school, one day you had some fruit chart. Fruits, no? This is banana, this orange, this is, watermelon, this papaya. So like this, they kept on showing you one fruit and then they kept on repeating. That's how you remember. Then you had one vehicle chart on the board. This is bike, this is bicycle, this is car, this is helicopter, this is train, this is ship, right? That's how they came to know. And thereafter, some political leaders' photographs. This is Donald Trump, this is Abraham Lincoln, this is George Washington, and this is Barack Obama, this is Bill Clinton. Okay, that's how you came to know. Yes, sir. Right? So slowly you kept on remembering, the base memory kept on getting into the memory. Like that, from the day you're born till you are 5, 6, 7 years, you keep on getting base memory. Once you get that, from that time onwards, what happens is, anything you want to learn, what you do, from what you know, you keep connecting to something you don't. Imagine, you came home from school. One uncle is sitting in the drawing room and he said, "Hi, young man, how are you?" You said, "Young man, who are you?" He said, "No, you don't remember me, myself, your uncle." You said, "You, my uncle, how?" So you go into the kitchen and ask your mom, "Mom, that person is telling is my uncle. How he is uncle to me?" What will your mother says? "See, you know me, you, my mother, I know. You know my mother, I know my grandmother. My grandmother has got a sister, okay. She has got one daughter, okay. She has got one sister, okay. And that lady's third husband is this fellow, is your uncle." You say, "Ma, don't break my head." Yes or no? Most of you are in US, and sometime on Zoom call or on WhatsApp call, some uncle will talk, "Hi, how are you?" You don't know who that person. And you ask your mother, "Who is this person?" Your mother keeps on telling, "See, my father's brothers, okay, and uncles, right, wives, and then her father's brother." Something she will tell, right? So that means anything that you don't know, she will tell you from where you know, right? From your mother, she will keep connecting. Yes or no? Imagine your miss is teaching a plus b whole square. You have not understood. You said, "Ma'am, I don't understand a plus b whole square." What will miss ask you? "You understand A?" "Yes, ma'am." "You understand B?" "Yes, ma'am." "Have you understood A plus B whole square?" "Up till there, I understood, ma'am." Miss will say, "You multiply this A plus B again with A plus B, that is becomes A plus B whole square. Have you understood?" So that means what? Whenever you say, "I have not understood, I don't know," what your teacher will do? They will go back to the place up to where you know. From there they connect. Okay, that's how they teach you. That's how from small little baby, without knowing anything, you kept on increasing. Okay, your horizon, your knowledge kept on increasing, and today you know many things. Yes or no? You also know which place is your dad from, which place your mom is from, who are your mother's relatives, who are your father's relatives. If one uncle comes on WhatsApp video call, that uncle, how he becomes uncle to you, you know all that relation. Yes or no? Anything that for that matter. So same thing where we are going to use this, because this we call it as what? Association technique. Memory works on association. Something you don't know, you have to connect with something you know. right? Something unknown, you have to connect something known. You need to connect. This is what is called memory. So 3-step formula. So next time you are reading a book, newspaper, magazine, or any novel, you come across some unknown word, pause, stop, and open the dictionary, see the meaning of the word. Step number 1. Step number 2, what do I know in this new word which has come? Check that. And once you know that, from what you know to what you don't know, you need to make a small connection. If you can do 3-step formula, it will be 100% permanent. Are you able to get this? Imagine I got this word again called abyss. Okay. So if I come across this word abyss, first thing what you should do, in case the moment you see this word, you get the meaning of the word, lowering down somebody's position. You don't have to worry at all. By chance, if you don't get the meaning of this word, step number 2, you have to go. In this, what you should do, you should find out, in this, what is it that I don't know? I know. In this, what do I know? I know something called base, I know. So base means what? Bottom. Meaning is also what? Lowering down from top to bottom. Somebody from top to bottom, automatically meaning will come flashing. Are you able to understand this? Okay. Now let's do some examples right now. I got this word called acclimatize. I don't know the meaning of this word. Imagine, some of you may know, I'm giving you a few examples so that you understand. Acclimatize, I don't know, right? And the first step is find out the meaning of the word. Meaning is what? Adjusting to the climate. This is the meaning of the word, adjusting to the climate. How I know? Through dictionary. Adjusting to the climate, right? Step number 2, acclimatize. In this, is there something that you know? What is there in this?
Climate.
What is it? I got something called climate. Okay. So this I know, climate I know. So next time you get acclimatized, climate. What you should do with the climate? You should adjust to the climate, hot climate, cold climate, you have to adjust. That's how I remember. Step number 1, 2, and 3. Easy for me to remember. For example, I got one word called ages. I don't know the meaning of this word. So what do you do? What I should do first step? Find out the meaning of the word. Meaning of the word is what? Protection or support. Taking care. Safeguarding. How do I know? Through dictionary. Ages. And when I say ages, is there something that you are able to listen? Ages. What do you know? Something. Something I know something called age. Age. Now tell me, how we could connect this age to protection? Right now I am there, I am helping you. If I am not there, how will you connect age and protection? How will you connect? Tell me.
When you're old, you need support
Yes.
to walk.
Age and protection. Imagine you are a small little baby, okay? You cannot take care of yourself, okay? And then you require your mother or father to take care of you. Imagine you are a small little baby. You have to go to school. Your mother will come and drop you at the bus stop, right? School bus to go. And when you come back, again your dad will come and pick you because you cannot come on your own and you cannot go on your own. So when you are a small baby, you need someone to take care of you, protection and support. Yes, no? Similarly, your grandfather is 80 years old, 80 years old. He cannot take care of himself. Can you leave him all alone at home and go? You cannot. Somebody has to be there to take care of him. No, to go to the washroom or to give him bath, to eat, everything, someone to make him to sleep. You require someone to take care. That means age, small or bigger, those people, they require someone's protection, support, care, safeguard. That's how I remember. Use your common sense to remember. Are you able to get this? Step number 1, 2, 3. That's how you remember any word. Let us look at one more word, okay? One more word, okay? I got one word called affront. Affront. Meaning, first of all, find out the meaning. Meaning is what? Insult or offense. You insult someone, this is the meaning. How I know? Through dictionary. If I say, understand this. No, affront, what is there in this?
Front.
I got front. Tell me, how will you connect? Front and insult, how will you connect this and this? Tell me.
Front.
How will you connect? How will you connect? Front and insult. Do not insult anyone in front of others. You understand this? Imagine you went a little late to the school assembly, your teacher scolded you in front of everyone. You feel very bad. But by chance, you went late. Your miss told you, come and see me in the staff room. And she shouted at you. And what do? You come out and say, nothing happened. That means in front of others, you should not insult anyone. That means it is said that anything good you must tell in mic, public. Anything to improve, you must tell them in their ears. Understand this? Remember one golden rule to be a good human being. Anything you want to tell, something is not okay, something can be improved, right? Something badly spoken, badly done. You want to tell someone, tell them in private, only you and that person, nobody else is there. But someone has done something good, you want to appreciate, then call everyone and then make everyone to give a clap and then tell everyone announce. That means good thing, tell publicly. Anything too bad, tell them in private. That's why do not insult anyone in front of others. That's how I make a small, little, quick association and I can remember those words and the meanings. Okay. Imagine I got this word called appal. Meaning is what? Shock. How I know? Dictionary. Appal means shock. Shock. This how I know. Appal means shock. Appal means shock.
The app shocks someone.
Is there in this appal?
Oh,
I got something called what? Apple. I know something called apple. How I remember apple? If you
No,
mention,
the app shocked
you went to
someone.
buy one apple, okay? You went to buy one apple, okay? You went to buy one apple, and then that apple fellow, okay, what did he do? You asked him one apple how much? He said one apple, $50. He said, what? One apple, $50? You got a shock of your life. So next time you ask, appal means what? Apple. Apple, when you asked that fruit vendor, that fruit, that vegetable seller, he said $1, one apple is going to cost you so much money. You got a shock of your life. Something funny you associate, you can remember very easily. Okay. For example, I get one word called baleful. Meaning is what? Threatening, deadly. How I know? Dictionary. I'm giving you so many examples so you understand this. Baleful means threatening or deadly. How I know? Dictionary. In this baleful, what do I know? I know something called what? Huh?
Full.
What?
Bail.
Bales. One is bales. Do you watch cricket sometimes?
Yes.
On the stumps, okay? You keep bales, these bales. Imagine you're batting here and the bales have fallen. That means out. Deadly for the batsman. Imagine. Otherwise, imagine, I'm a deadly criminal. I have done 3 murders. Will police give bail from jail? No. That means if the bails fall off, deadly for the batsman and deadly criminal, he will not get bail from jail. This is bail, okay? Be a bail from jail. Okay, he will not get bail. He will be put in prison. He will be put in police station. He will not get bail from jail. So this way, that way, whichever the way you want, you can associate. Okay, baleful. For example, bedizen, meaning is what? Show off, decorate. How I know? Through dictionary. Show off, decorate. Bedizen means show off, decorate.
Bed.
What is there in this?
You
I know
show
something called bed. Then what else is there? I got something called design. I got one word called bed. I also got one word called design. Okay. Maybe this word design. Bed design. Imagine one guest had come to your house. Imagine. Or one guest is going to come to your house. Imagine. Tomorrow. What your mama says? Now make up your bed. Put the proper pillow car. Put the proper bedspread, okay? Keep it well, keep it good because some guests are going to come home, yes or no? So bed you design because you want to show off to people that you are very, very good child and you people are very organized, yes or no? So that means whenever guests come to our house, what we do? Mother, she'll keep all the newspapers properly stacked up in the, in the cupboard, yes, no? And she will clean up the dining table and bedroom, everything, she'll make it perfectly all right. Because some guests are going to come. Once the guests leave, then you are back to your normal self. Yes or no? So bed design because you want to show off that your house is the best house You want to show off to people. That's how I make a small little association and remember. It is very, very easy for me to remember. Okay. For example, look at this. I got one word called bellicose. Meaning of the word is quarrelsome or warlike. Bellicose means what? Quarrelsome. What is there? What is there? I know something called what?
Bell.
Bell. When two people are quarreling, what do they make? They make a lot of sound. Bell. When it rings in the school, what does it make? It makes sound. Or else imagine, I know something called belly. You know belly? You know this? Belly? Bellicose means I know belly. So big belly uncle, very fat uncle is always fighting. Okay, quarreling. Just imagine. Big belly uncle is always fighting this way, that way. In whichever way you want, you can associate. Big belly uncle is always fighting. You can associate this way, that way. Whichever way you want, you can associate. For example, imagine I got one word called blight. Meaning of the word is to spoil or ruin something. To spoil or ruin something. How I know? Dictionary. Step number 1. Step number 2. In blight, is there something that you know in this?
Light.
Light. I know you have light there, right? Tell me. Step number 3. Light and spoil. How will you associate this and this?
The light spoiled. Being away from the light spoils the person.
How do you associate? Imagine heavy rain, voltage fluctuation, high, low light will spoil your refrigerator, laptop, computer. High, low light will spoil or ruin something. That's how I associate. Can you do that? High or low light will spoil or ruin something. That's why whenever you go long tour, what do? You switch off the mains, everything power off and then go. Why? Because if there is a high, low light, it's going to spoil electrical equipment in the house. So high, low light, voltage fluctuation, power coming, power going, the power fluctuation, what it will do? It will spoil all your electric gadgets at home. So high, low light will spoil or ruin something. That's how you associate, you can remember. Can you get that? Easy for you to do? Right? Good. Very good. Now let us check this. Okay. Okay. Now bluster. Meaning of the bluster is to be loud, noisy. Bluster means to be loud, noisy. Big sound is called what? Loud, noisy, big sound. Okay. To be loud, noisy. Bluster. Loud, noisy. What is there in this?
Luster.
What is there? Bomb blast. When the bomb blast happens, what comes? But what will come?
No, blister.
Huh?
Blister.
Oh, no. How? See, whenever you take some word, you must make some word which is bit relevant to this. Okay. That means whenever there's a bomb blast, you can hear loud noise. Okay. Big sound, loud noise you can hear. So
But
this
just say you touched your blister, you scream very loud.
yes, loud noises. That way also you can imagine. This way, that way, anyway you can imagine. Easy for you. Okay. For example, I got one word, certitude. Meaning of this word is what? A feeling of sureness. Certitude means a feeling of sureness. Right? How I know? Through dictionary. If I remember certitude, what is there in this?
Certificate.
Yes, certificate. Your date of birth certificate, sports certificate, bona fide certificate, character certificate, means mark certificate. Certificate means guarantee. Certificate means guarantee, right? So anytime you go to hospital, you go to school, you go to anywhere, they'll give you one certificate. Insurance certificate, driving certificate means what? Certificate means a feeling of sureness, guarantee. Okay. Certificate means certitude, guarantee. You will not forget this at all. For example, gambit. Meaning is a risky action. Is called what? Gambit. A risky action.
Game.
Okay. What is there in this? Game. I got some gambling also. I can remember gambling also. Game. Whether you will whether you are going to win or not, we don't know. Quite risky. Or gambling is a risky action. Gambling done. Any one of you, if you go and bet money, right? Risky action. Gambling is a risky action. This and that you have to associate. You can remember very easily. Gambling is a risky action. Can you get that? Okay, let us do this. Kareen, meaning is what? Sway from side to side. What is there in this? Sway means like somebody, like I got a pen, simple pendulum, turn, turn, turn. This is what is called, Kareen, like this. Or some people, when they drink and come, what they do? They keep on swaying from left to right. That's called Kareen meaning. Understand the meaning. Second thing, when I say Kareen, what is there in this?
Curry.
Curry.
I got something car.
Curry.
Carry. Yeah, I got something car. Okay, a car
Here,
while
here.
driving is swaying from left to right on the road. Is now you are holding the steering. It is going left and right. Car is swaying from left to right. Now that's how I remember. Anytime you remember, it becomes easy. Next time when you say car, I remember like this. Okay, it becomes very easy for you. Okay, it becomes very easy. Using this, you also can remember. Okay, what you can do, you also can remember any new language. Okay, let us check this. Okay, any new language you can remember. Okay, you want to learn French, you want to learn German, you want to learn Russian, you want to learn Telugu, you want to learn Malayalam, you want to learn Kannada, you want to learn any Japanese language, it becomes easy. For example, look at this. Spanish, tiger. The meaning is what? The actual word Spanish is tigre. How will I connect tiger and tigre? Tigre or tigre means what? This making some tea which is gray in color. I make a picture. Tea gray in color. Tigre means tea gray in color. I just remember this. Tea gray in color. Tea gray in color. Tiger. Imagine next time you should see when you have to remember tiger. Tiger is preparing some tea which is gray in color. It's preparing some tea which is gray in color. I remember tea gray in color. I remember. Easy for me to remember. Okay. For example, imagine in Spanish, sun, the word we call it as a soul. How I remember? Sun, I know. I have to connect with something soul. Soul means sun, very hot. You're walking on the road, barefoot. Your feet will get burnt, right? So soul means what? Imagine you're wearing shoe which has got very thick sole. Means when sun is very hot, right on your head, you have to wear shoes which have got some thick sole. That's how I remember. Sun and soul. Now very easy for me to remember. Okay. For example, chicken. Chicken. Italian word. Chicken is polo. How will you connect chicken and polo? In Italian, chicken is called polo. How will you connect it?
Pole.
Okay. Chicken is holding one pole, right? Our chicken is playing some polo game. Can you imagine now? Can you imagine chicken is playing some polo game? That's how you can easily remember. Chicken, imagine playing some polo game. Okay. Cat. What we call cat as, okay, in Italian, gatto. Cat, you know. Meow. Cat, you know. Gatto. What is there in the gatto? I have got some word called gate. Cat and gate. How will you associate? Cat is jumping over the gate and coming. Okay. Cat is jumping over the gate and coming into your house. That's how I make a small little association. For example, in French, book is called livre. How will you associate book and livre? Imagine livre, I don't know. I know something called liver. Liver. Liver means what? Books normally you keep it in a cupboard, right? And it has got some shelves. And books are here, and each shelf you open with a lever. You have a lever here. You just take it out, and then books you can take it out. So books you're opening books you're opening with a opening with a lever. Okay, opening with a lever. Okay, that's why I remember with a lever. Livre. Okay, lever means something that you can take out. Okay, lever, books and lever. I make a small association. I can remember. For example, in French, chair is called chaise. How would I get chair and chaise?
You can think of the word chase.
What is this in this? You take out this. What will come?
Chase.
Chase. So someone is coming and picking up a chair from your house and running away, and you are chasing that person. Give my chair back. So you are chasing someone who is running away from your house with a chair. So chair and chase in French, you just make a small association you can remember. For example, in Zulu, any idea where people speak, which country do they
Ninja.
speak Zulu? Huh?
Ninja.
Africa.
Ninja.
Where?
Ninja.
Africa.
Ninja.
South Africa. Okay. Africa, in some tribal areas, they speak some
Ninja.
language called now
Ninja.
Zulu.
Ninja.
Inja. So I remember Inja.
Ninja.
Ninja, or I know something called injured. Okay. Injured. So dog comes and bites you. What will happen? You will get injured. So dog bite will cause injury. Dog bite will cause injury. Remember, dog, if it bites you, you get injured. Injure means dog, if it comes and bites you, you get injured. That's how I remember. Easy for me to do. Okay. For example, listen, if I get one word, snake. Okay. Snake. And Zulu, inyoka. How would you remember inyoka? In car. Snake is in your car. Snake, where is the snake?
Oh yeah.
Oh, snake is in your car. Okay, in your car, in your car, in your car.
Snake was
So,
in a yoke.
so I'm making this, okay, in your car. Okay, snake is in your car. So I just remember this. Next time that's Zulu. That's how I remember. It becomes easy for me. In Japanese, okay, chest means what? Mune. Chest is something that will.
Moon. Moon.
Moon, okay. Moon I can remember, or money also I can remember. What do you mean by chest? Chest is not this. Chest is something where you chase, where you preserve your money. Okay, like treasure. Treasure box. Like you have safety locker at home. You have a safety locker at home.
Oh.
Okay, you have a locker at home. Okay, treasure. Okay, so treasure and safety locker. Okay, so how will you carry treasure and money? Chest. Your money is preserved in the chest. I make this picture and remember easily for me. It becomes easy for me. For example, door. Okay, what is the word for door? This is for what? Toa. So what is toa? I don't know. I know something called
T.
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 So you are stepping in, into the door. Okay, opening the door. You are stepping in the door. Hit your toe and then you got little injury. Okay, I just make a picture and remember. Like this, you can remember anything. Now tell me. Let us check this. Spanish word for tiger. What is the word? Spanish word for tiger?
Tigre.
Tigre.
Italian word for cat.
Tigre.
Cat is jumping over the
Cat.
dog. Zulu word for dog.
India.
Ninja. Ninja.
Spanish word for chest. What are you storing in the chest?
Moon. Moon.
French word for book.
Livre.
Okay. Italian word for chicken. What is it playing? Zulu word for
Polo.
now. See, only once I have told you, you are able to tell me all the words, right? Meaning, that means you people can learn many languages. And for memory, learning more languages always recommended. See, the former Indian Prime Minister, P.V. Narasimha Rao used to know 16 languages. Most of you, maybe you would know a little bit of your mother tongue. Maybe some of you know a little bit of Telugu. Maybe some of you know English and Hindi. Most of you are not aware. But my recommendation would be learn as many languages as possible. Okay, if you can learn something called French, Sanskrit, or you want to learn, Tamil, you want to learn Kannada, you want to learn German, you want to learn, Russian, you want to learn Chinese, always better. Why? What will happen is, language is all about, not about expression, it's about impression, it's about expression. So you're trying to express your ideas. So the neurons in the brain will become that much more active. So the more you try to interact with people in different languages, you'll be that much more active. That means if you are living in US, when you run a big company, you happen to go to any country, if you can talk in their mother tongue, in the language that they speak, automatically you will get connected much better way. Heart to heart connection, right? So always try to see that you will learn more languages. The first step is whenever you want to learn any new language, see, you have to find out words and meanings, number one. Number two, once in a month, read one book in that particular language. Number two, once in a month, see one movie in that language. Number three. Number four, try to spend some time with people who speak that particular language and try to speak in that language only. You want to speak in Hindi, speak to them in Hindi. Don't worry. What if I commit a mistake? Doesn't really matter. And most of us, what we do, we stop communicating with people because somebody will laugh at us, somebody may mock at us, somebody may make fun of us, and I want to be perfectionist. Then only I'm going to say that perfectionism will never come in our life. Every one of us, irrespective of who we are, what we're doing, we continue to do some mistakes. Don't worry. You keep speaking, and when they laugh, when they say this is not the way, then ask them, how do you pronounce? And now, what's the meaning of this word? What do you say? Oh, this way. Thank you so much for educating me. And next time, you don't commit that mistake. And slowly, you keep on becoming. You will become an expert in the language. So, for memory, you need to know more and more languages. And in your normal life also, this is going to help you a lot. Okay. So when you know more and more languages, it's going to help you a lot. So learn languages. So think which language you want to learn and take that word in that particular language and find out the meaning in English, and then you know how to make connection. You got this idea? And similarly, there are people who have gone into GRE exam, GMAT exam, TOEFL exam, IELTS exam. The people they've gone into Indian Institute of Management. They are being tested in English proficiency. You people are very good, but even then you want to improve your vocabulary. Because when you speak, when you use good words, you will really impress people. So for that, whenever you come across any unknown word, what your friends will do, any unknown word in the textbook, normally it is given in italics. It is little, inverted commas. It is being little tilted, and they give a number on the top. At the bottom, what they do, they put one line, they put the number and they write the meaning of the word. Okay, so your friends who don't know this three-step formula, they look at the word, they look at the meaning, and they stop there only. Because what happens? Because they don't know anything else, and they think they know. They know. Maybe 1 week, 10 days. That's a temporary memory method. It will soon go because they're not tying it. But what we're trying to do, we are using 2 extra steps. Like your friend, you are seeing the word and seeing the meaning. Understanding, number 1. Number 2, in the new word, what is it that I know? You are trying to find out. Step number 3, from what you know to what you don't know, you are trying to make a small little connection. Once you make connection, this will be totally strong. It won't go. Imagine your mother, she had taken out the clothes from the washing machine and she want to, dry them. What normally people they do? Imagine if you come to India, normally what we do, we have 2 poles, okay? And there's a wire, okay? There's a rope. And then simply keeping the clothes is okay, but then little wind, this shirt or the pant will fly and go and fall in the neighbor's house. So what my mother would do, after leaving my shirt on that wire, she will take one clip and she'll fix the clip on the shirt with that wire. And even once she does that, let any thunderstorm come, any wind come, the shirt will only swing from left to right and right to left. It doesn't go and fall in the neighbor's house. Similarly, what we are trying to do, we are going to bond, okay, our meanings of the words in 3-step formula, okay, anytime. So now what you should do, open the textbook and then open up any novel, open up any newspaper, and any word that you don't know. What you should do, you should pause and then look at the meaning of the word in the dictionary. Ask your mom and dad for the meaning. Step number 1, understand the meaning. Step number 2, the new word that you got in this, what is it that you know? Check. And third step, what you should do, from what you know in the new word to the meaning, make a small connection and then store it in the brain. And 3-step formula, it will not go. 5 years from now, you have come across the same word. Imagine if you get the meaning in the first step, You don't have to go for the memory program at all. Imagine if you don't get, you are stuck. Then go to second step. In the new word, is there something, try to find out. Once you find out, and the moment you find out the word, automatically that will remind you of the meaning of the word. So step number 2 will remind you of the step number 3. So for example, if I ask you a question, a base, what is it that you know in this word?
Basement
Base.
is at the bottom.
Base. What is the meaning of the word?
To bring someone to the bottom.
Lowering down someone's position, degrade someone. For example, affront. What is the meaning what is the word that you know in this? Affront.
So front.
Insulting someone in front of
In
them.
front of others, what you should not do? Do not insult anyone in front of others. Can you get this? Yes. Tell me. Let me ask you this question. Okay. If I ask you, bluster.
You can connect it to blast, like a bomb.
Blast. When the blast happens, what comes?
Blister.
Loud and noisy.
Right? If I ask you one question, baleful. What do you know? Bales. Deadly person, he will not get bail from jail. Or cricket balls fall off, deadly for the batsman, it gets out. Can you get that? You are able to get this? For example, let me give you. Aegis. What is the sound that you are getting? Aegis.
It's a protection.
Supported.
Age means what? Small or big? Age. Small children, old people. When they are small in age or old in age, they require protection support. Are you able to get this? This will become very easy. See, now we remember almost 15, 20 words right now. You can remember daily 10 words you can remember. And within no time, you will look as if you are a walking encyclopedia. You can memorize the whole dictionary. There's a girl in India, and this girl who was studying the 10th standard, and she has memorized the whole Oxford dictionary. You ask her any word from the dictionary, she will tell the meaning of the word. How? She has learnt by using the 3-step formula. You have to be very consciously, you have to apply this method. Are you getting this idea? Are you able to get this? Okay. So what we will do is, now we are going to take 2 or 3 minutes break. Now where Venkat sir will play a small video, and then we're going to come back. Okay, small AV he will play, then we'll come back. 2-3 minutes break. Right? 2-3 minutes break.
Okay, thank you. Andy. Prasad garu. Prasad garu, are you there? Yeah, in 1 minute, Prasad will be playing the video.
Hello everyone, my name is Bharti. I am a realtor. I have a passion for real estate and determined to provide the best services for my clients in all aspects. I work with the buyers and sellers at all price points in the Kansas City and Missouri area. I will work for you and with you to help you negotiate the best offers available. I believe I have the right skills, experience, and resources, but don't just take it from me. name is Bharati Reddy. I am ready to be your real estate agent.
In high definition, this is CBS 2 News at 5.
We're accustomed to exercise to improve the body. Well, not so much me, but Laura is. But what about a workout to improve the brain?
This is interesting. It's sort of like calisthenics for the cranium. CBS 2's Jennifer Sabi has been looking into who is doing this 3-minute-a-day brain training, and we're fascinated by it, Jen.
Yeah, well, people say it makes them smarter, Paul and Laura. It's called Super Brain Yoga, an exercise intended to pump up cell and neuron activity in the brain. Alzheimer's patients, seniors looking to stave off memory loss, and kids in classrooms are among those who say doing it makes them smarter.
Now take your right hand, cross over the left side.
A medical doctor in Los Angeles prescribes an exercise.
Inhale going down, exhale coming up.
Not so his patients grow stronger, but so they become smarter.
We probably had a C average. I taught him these exercises, and by the next semester, he was a completely different kid. His grades had gone to almost straight A's.
Take your left hand.
A teacher in Malibu saw similar improvements in her learning disabled kids.
We have kids that have autism, kids that have Asperger's, all different needs.
They were assigned the movements.
Inhale, exhale.
Not to shape their muscles, but to sharpen their minds.
Yeah, we get smarter and smarter.
Good, Brandon. One child used to just stand there and not move. And now I'll ask him to do something and he'll look at me and he'll just take a moment and then he'll do it.
A teacher, a doctor.
And then you take the right hand and place it over to the left earlobe.
A Yale neurobiologist.
Yes, I do it every day.
And an occupational therapist.
Inhale, blow up.
I think this might be the key to help unlock these children.
All are among those experimenting with an exercise to increase intelligence called Super Brain Yoga.
I would say the Super Brain Yoga is a fast, simple, drug-free method of increasing mental energy.
I learned Super Brain Yoga from Master Choa Kak Sui, and I noticed in my own life it made a difference. Like I wasn't spending as much time looking for my keys or walking into a room and forgetting why I was there.
Yale neurobiology researcher Jean Eng says Super Brain Yoga stimulates neural pathways in the brain by activating acupuncture points on the earlobe.
In modern terms, the brain is actually lateralized. So holding the left ear actually activates the right brain, and holding the right ear actually activates the left brain.
Eng says after doing the squatting sequence, EEG scans show the right and left hemispheres of the brain are synchronized.
And you're going to bring it across your body.
Reina Corturba doesn't need charts and graphs to be convinced. She saw the change firsthand in one 7-year-old student diagnosed as emotionally disturbed and dyslexic.
Could barely hold a pencil, could barely write. He's now in a regular ed classroom without an aide. He's one of the top children in his class.
This is a photo of a boy with autism and his mother who says he was transformed after starting Super Brain Yoga.
And he would bite, headbutt me, kick me, punch me, run against the wall, headbutt the wall. Since he started the exercise, he's not had one outburst.
For a culture accustomed to exercising to get fit, not get smart, yoga for brain power may seem harebrained.
I tell the patients and I tell the parents, you know, this looks a little bit hokey, but the proof's in the pudding, and I've seen it work.
Yes, it does seem strange, but the effects are so worth the effort. It's like 5 minutes a day. And once I got myself the discipline to do it, it made such a dramatic effect in my life that it's like it's a no-brainer.
Researchers say Super Brain Yoga can help anyone of any age increase their intelligence. The exercise is rather easy to learn, so if you're interested, you can go to our website, cbs2.com, click on links and numbers on the left-hand side, and we'll show you how you can learn more about Super Brain Yoga. I'm Jennifer Sabi, CBS 2 News. Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Prasad Garu. Yeah, we can continue, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sleep is.
Friends, 2-3 things that I wanted to clarify today. That most of you, when you are sitting in the classroom or when you start reading, what we do without any preparedness, we normally get into reading. Anything you want to retain in the brain, there is one formula that we have to follow. What is the formula? Let me explain this formula for you. This formula, we call this as what formula is this? We call this as what? Okay. One formula called PVR formula. Okay. We call this a PVR formula. Okay. Today my whiteboard is not writing, so I'm writing on this. P means what? Preview. V means what? View. R means what? Review. This is what it stands for. You want to retain any information for a long time, you have to use this technique called what? PVR technique. Preview, view, and review. Preview means imagine tomorrow one lesson is going to be taught in the class. Your madam has told you. Tomorrow, your ma'am told you that tomorrow one lesson is going to be taught. What you should do, you have to go through the lesson before. Means whatever is being taught, whatever is going to be discussed tomorrow, if you can go through that a night before, what will happen? Your brain will get some idea. What is this all about? With the existing maturity, with the existing knowledge, brain will get to understand a lot of things. And as you are going through the lesson, which will be taught in the class tomorrow, you know, this I don't know, this I don't know, here I need explanation, here I need clarification, rest of it I know. So your brain gets orientation, number one. That's called preview. Number two is what? View. Means in the classroom, every 5 minutes you have to consciously check, am I listening to my teacher? Am I looking at the screen? Am I looking at the board? Am I making some notes? Am I understanding? Am I paying concentration? Okay, am I actually understanding? You need to check every 5 minutes. You should be constantly checking. That's called view. Every 5 minutes. Okay. Third one is called review. Review means after you come back home, not that once in a week you will review. So you have come back home today. Whatever lesson has been taught, keep the book down, close your eyes, and recollect as to what has been taught in the class. You try to recollect after going through whatever has been taught. So preview, view, review. If you do these 3 things, this will stay in the brain for a long time. So most of us, what we do, without any preparation, without orienting our mind, we simply go and sit in the class. And then what will happen? In the 30-40 minutes of class, whatever ma'am is teaching, it will take 15-20 minutes for the brain to understand what is she talking about. But then you get some idea and everything will go over your head. And then when you come back home and you are totally stuck because you are not understood on. So remember this technique called PVR technique. Preview means any lesson, any topic that will be discussed in the classroom next day, you have to read it once so that you will get some idea, brain will get some orientation. So it knows what will be discussed. So it is ready, it is prepared. And next thing is what? In the classroom, you view. View means you listen properly and after that you review. So PVR technique, which will help you for long-term memory, number one. Number two, anything you want to remember for long term, what you should do? You should remember you should read for very short spells of time. Most children, what they do, they think 1 hour without getting up, I want to read. That is not okay. I want to read for 2 hours, not okay. I will read for 4 hours, not okay. Always make sure that anytime you want to read, not more than 20 minutes at one stretch you sit. Okay. What is called? This is called 20-20 rule. What rule is this? 20-20 rule. If you follow, memory will be very good. 20-20 rule.
Were meant to be used last year. Heroes created last year are meant to be used last year, right?
See, The rule is called what? 20-20 technique.
I know Telugu.
What is this? 20-20. 20-20. Okay. See, in India, IPL, you have any idea what is IPL? Indian Premier
Yes.
League cricket, very famous here in India. And that match, each team will only play for 20 minutes. Earlier, they used to play for a test match, used to be played for 5 days. They reduced it to 1 day, 50-over match, and people thought people cannot concentrate. What did it? They said only 20-20 over match. Okay, so any match only will be for 20-20 overs. That means scientists have basically concluded in the 21st century, for us, we cannot have more than 20 minutes of concentration at one stretch. That's why after some time today, I gave you a break so that our sponsors, they could play our ads. 20 minutes is one stretch. At one stretch, brain can pay attention. In that, what you should do, when you're sitting 20 minutes, you sit and read. So there are two things. Okay. So what is this? Okay. One is called primacy. What is called primacy. And second is called what? Recency effect. Recency effect. One is called primacy, second is recency. What does it mean? Primacy means first, when you're reading,
3 hours.
when you go for a movie, first 5 minutes of the movie, brain will automatically remember. First 5 minutes of the movie, brain will automatically remember.
No.
Last 5 minutes of the movie, brain will automatically remember. Have you gone to any movie? You read any book, right? You meet a person, read a book, you go to a place. First, what did you do? The moment you went, what happened? That will be very, very, clear in the mind, very strong in the mind. Last, when you are leaving, what happened? What conversation happened? How did you leave that place? That automatically brain will remember. That means what? Even when I am reading also, first 5 minutes, brain will automatically remember. Last 5 minutes, brain will remember. The first 5 minutes is called primacy, means beginning. Last 5 minutes, the brain, we call it as a recency. So the primacy means beginning. Recency means the latest one. Both of them, brain will automatically remember. So after 20 minutes, first 5, last 5, brain will remember. In between 10 minutes, we have to use our memory techniques. If you can use them, you can easily remember. That's how you need to use this technique. Okay, primacy and recency, number 1. Okay, so never ever read for long time. If you read for 3 to 4 hours, what will happen? See, 5 minutes you remember, last 5 minutes you remember. In between 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 40 minutes, that thing you remember. And everywhere you want to use memory techniques, no problem. It becomes a little more jaded, boring. It will be tiresome. You should not sit for long hours and read. 20 minutes you read and then keep the book down, take a break. And then you went to washroom, you came out, then you took a stroll in the garden, in the park. Then you came home, had some water, said hi, hello to your mom. You came back and sat in the study chair. Then what you should do? Close your eyes. Don't open the book. Imagine right now that you are in the examination hall. Imagine what you read before you went for a break. The same question had come in the examination, imagine. And then you have an answer book with you and try to recollect that answer. What did I read? So when you try to recollect, imagine with a mental imaginary pen, you want to write it down. Something you know, something you don't know. So here I know, here I'm little doubtful, I'm little confused. That you know what you should do. Then open the book wherever you are not quite clear. Then you just go through that and then keep the book down, close eyes and recollect. So that is very important. Okay. So reading and recalling is very important for long-term memory. How can you keep something for long-term memory? Okay. Second technique I taught you. And third technique, what you should do, whenever you want to read anything, for example, you read one book, okay? One chapter you have read today, 4 hours, imagine. Next day, when you open the book to read, again read chapter 1. Third day, again read chapter 1. Fourth day, again read chapter 1. That's how you should read. Let me just show you this. Okay. Right. Imagine first day, Okay. First day, you read chapter 1. Okay, 4 hours. Second day, what I'm saying is, again read chapter 1. Right? Then you ask me, sir, if third day also, what you should do? Read chapter 1 again. Fourth day also, read chapter 1 again. Then you will say, when I'm going to read chapter 2? When will you read chapter 2? On the fifth day? Not really. No. Listen, guys. You read chapter 1 for the first time on the first day. You took 4 hours, okay? Second day, right? You are only revising chapter 1. This I know. This one, okay. This one, this one, okay. Revision. How much time it take? 15 minutes. Rest of the time, read chapter 2. Third day, revise 1 plus 2. Newly read chapter 3. And fourth day, revise 1 plus 2 plus 3. And then newly read chapter 4. And on day 5, don't revise chapter 1. Drop chapter 1. Only revise chapter 2 plus 3 plus 4. Newly read chapter 5. On day 6, don't revise chapter 2. Right? Drop chapter 2. Revise 3 plus 4 plus 5. And newly read chapter 6. That means memory rule says, any concept, any theorem, any answer, any speech you want to remember for a long time, that theorem, that chapter, that speech, you should read and revise continuously for 4 days. Look at this. 4 days. Look at this. This 4 days. Look at this. 4 days. Can you say this? 4 days. Can you say this? 4 days. Okay. This also will come to fourth day. 4 days. This also will come to 4 days. Now this we call it as what? SPACED. What is this called? Spaced learning. What is spaced learning? See, maximum forgetting will happen, okay, within the first 24 hours only. Maximum forgetting will happen within the first 24 hours only. That means what? We read once and we think we remember it. No. What will happen? In our brain, very light impression will get formed. And for this impression to go, it's very easy. Simply it will go. Then what we do? We read today, leave 24 hours of gap in between. That much space. And revise next day. Again, leave 24 hours of time gap. Revise third day. Again, leave 24 hours of time gap. Revise fourth day. What will happen? So, one impression, second impression, third impression, fourth impression. 4 impression in the brain. Very strong the impression will be. Stronger the impression, easy the recall. Understand? So many of you will ask me, sir, is it okay to revise the same chapter 4 times in single day? No, you cannot revise same chapter single day. You should revise today, leave 24 hours and revise next day. This is called what? This is called spaced learning. So the maximum forgetting will happen in the first 24 hours only. So for that, we have to read 4 days. That is very important for you. Understand this? Any chapter, any concept, if you follow this formula, you will remember it for a very long time. So this is what we should do. And along with this, you should do one more formula. If you don't do this, again you think that I've gone through memory workshop. Even then I am forgetting. Listen, what we should do, see, you have got 4 Sundays. I'm going to tell you one revision formula. Okay. The last concept for revision formula. How to do revision. The revision concept. See, in a month we got 4 Sundays. First Sunday, okay, second Sunday, third Sunday, and imagine now we got 4 Sundays. Minimum we have 4 Sundays in any month. So you have got, imagine 6 subjects, okay? Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. What you should do? Whatever has been taught in the school from the day 1 up till here, all the 3 subjects you read up till yesterday latest. Then what you do? Throw the books away. Next day, what you should do? Subject number 4. Next week, subject number 5. Subject maybe Sunday morning. Okay, after this class, revise these 3 subjects from what? From the day 1. What Miss taught you from the first chapter till yesterday. whatever has been covered in chapter, subject 4, you complete. Whatever has been covered in subject 5, complete. Whatever has been covered in subject 6, you complete. And the next day, what you should do, you drop this and bring these 3. Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3. What you should do, what has been taught in the school or college from first day up till here, whatever you revised, all that you revise from here to here, 1 week, from here to here, 1 more week. In 2 weeks, 1 new chapter has been added to subject 1. You read that also, revise, and then throw the book out. And chapter 2, book 2, what has been taught, add, latest up till 3, you read and revise. And then what you should do, and this next week what you should do, subject number 4, and then 5, and then 6. What you should do from the day 1, okay? So whatever has been read up till here, you read, and up till here, okay? So what you should do, whatever has been the latest covered, all that you should revise and do. This we should do once in 15 days, whatever has been taught in the school or a college, whatever you have learned, you have to revise. Okay. Why this? If you don't do this, what will happen? Brain has got one formula. What is that? It's called use it or lose it. It has got one formula called use it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Any new subject, any new concept, any new speech you learnt, if you are constantly using it, brain will remember. If you are not using it, brain will automatically send that into recycle bin. It doesn't retain. So what you should do, every 2 weeks, imagine you learned something called computer coding, Java, something you learned. Every time you are practicing, that will be latest in the brain. But if you learned from your dad, then next 2-3 weeks you didn't do any programming, then what? Suddenly your dad will give you that you do practicing problem. Rubik's Cube, you learn to solve it, right? And then 1 month you don't solve it. Again, you will be totally stuck with the algorithm. How do I solve the Rubik's Cube? You will be stuck. That means anything. Normally what we do, we read 2-3 chapters, we write one examination, and then next 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, we keep quiet till the final exam. And then what will happen? Brain will wait for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. What it will do? From the conscious brain, it will send it to subconscious mind. Okay, it will send it to subconscious mind. And anything you have learned, it is in the subconscious mind, it will come easily. The moment it goes to subconscious mind, it will take some time to come out. And that's why you think that why am I not able to recollect? Okay, so understand one thing, whatever you have learned, whatever you are learning now, every 2 weeks once, open the book and quickly just revise. Then what will happen? Instead of sending it to go down, instead of sending it to storehouse, instead of sending it to subconscious mind, brain will bring the information back again into conscious mind. Again, it will keep on going through. That means whatever you have learned, you have to make sure that it constantly keeps revolving only in the conscious mind, doesn't go to subconscious mind. That is very important for us. Okay, so we have to make sure that, okay, only when you make sure that you can remember, otherwise just not possible. Are you understand this? That is very important for you. Okay, otherwise just not possible. Or if you can follow this, you can remember anything for a long time. And then what you should do, now that I'm going to teach you, okay, in the next Sunday, I will teach you how to memorize numbers, the way I have demonstrated for you, and how you can prepare for spell bee contest, that I will teach you next Sunday. But understand one thing, this memory, not only you can use for study, you can use it as a memory sport. Why memory sport? See, the thing is, the way you are going for, playing some games, the way you work out in the gym, the way your parents, they do yoga, like that, half an hour every day, you have to practice this memory as a sport. If you are wanting to become a memory athlete, memory sport, there's a beautiful platform. I don't know if it would interest you or not, I don't know. But in case if someone is interested, let me explain this to you. Only just I'll take 2 minutes, okay? Memory sport, okay? So there's an Indian National Open Online Memory Championship 2021. That's happening when 31st of October Sunday it's happening. It's an online championship, it's an open championship. So even you people, your parents sitting in US, you too can take part because it's an online championship. Anyone can take part. Okay. Children up till 12 years, you will be in the kids category. Junior 13 to 17 years. Adults 18 to 59 years. Senior 60 years and above, you will be in the senior category. Okay. And we have 5 disciplines. What are those? Memorizing random numbers, which I'm going to teach you next Sunday. Random words, how to remember, you already learned. Binary numbers, I'll teach you some other time, not in this workshop separately. How to memorize the playing cards, that I'll teach you separately. And how to memorize historical years, that I'll be doing in this. Okay. And these are the 5 disciplines in which you'll be tested. Whoever scores maximum, either you are in US or you are in India, you will be entitled to become the Indian National Memory Champion. Okay. And if you can do this, you will get one international recognized certificate from the World Memory Sports Council. Okay. You will become an academics and mental health booster. It will work as, okay, live interactive session with me every week. I'll be doing one live interactive session with you people forever. And extra credit for any other exams, you will get some extra credit also. Okay. So there is something called IMF, International Memory Athletics Forum. You will become lifetime member. Okay. And then chances to win 1 lakh rupees Indian prize money as well. 100% guaranteed credibility. Okay. Eligible to represent India at the World Memory Championship. Else, you can take part in the US Memory Championship as well. So if you are keen to do that, see, this is my website, jsimha.in, and that is my email ID. And these are the Indian numbers. So so you can't directly, you can't do this. So what you should do, you do +91, okay, and then this one plus +91, okay, 9985031377. If you call us up also, you can actually get into that. Otherwise, you can go to this website, jsimha.in, National Memory Council of India.com. You can be part of this also. Okay. So anyone is interested, you can be part of the Indian National Memory Championship, and this is open for everyone. And if you can take part in this Indian Championship, and you can certainly become US Memory Champion as well. So Spell Bee contest, many of you are winning. How to win, how to take part, that I will explain that to you next week. In any case, I will tell you, right? Today only I want to teach you, but today, because that my board is not writing for unknown reason, so I covered that vocabulary and long-term memory. So next time, what I will do, how to memorize numbers and spellings, I will teach you, so that Spell Bee will become easy. And in addition to Spell Bee, if you want to become Indian National Memory Champion or US Memory Champion, or you want to crack the World Memory Championship, you want to become World Memory Champion, you want to become, I'm the World Memory Council for India's president. So jsimha.in is my website. I gave you the numbers, so you can go to the numbers. Otherwise, Venkat sir from NATS, he will put the link in there. You can click there and you can be part of that. And I'll help you to do some extra free sessions for you. I can do some extra sessions. Now, after 2 more sessions, I can do some extra sessions for you. Those who register for the championship, how to memorize playing cards, how to memorize by numbers, I can do that. Okay. So children, if any feedback is there, what to do in the next week, I'm going to tell you how to memorize spellings and how to memorize the numbers. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. Anything more is there? Now inform our organizers. And before we go, we need to thank our chairman of NATS, Sridhar sir, President Vijay Shekhar sir, and then our executive committee board, and then especially Ravi Gomadipudi sir, NATS marketing coordinator, and Venkat Mantri sir, who have been coordinating this program beautifully well, and is posting the entire video to you so that you people can see it whenever you are convenient. And also KCTA head Sridevi ma'am, to everyone. Okay, so put your hands together. Thanks to them, and over to Venkat.